Welcome, welcome. We are here for a special edition of the Black Belt News Network's newscast. And this week, or today, it is Monday, March 4th, and we're going to do a wrap up of the Bridge Crossing Jubilee. It's been less than 24 hours. Right, since the vice president was here. Very big deal having Kamala Harris in town for the Bridge Crossing Jubilee on Sunday, but it starts all weekend,
Right.
and it also takes place a little bit during the week. So Selma was home to thousands
There was a huge
thousands of people in the crowd. And I mean, it was just pretty amazing how many people we had here. I wanted to share video of our experience this weekend. We had so many people here. The video's not running, but it will. So we had speakers that included Kamala Harris, our vice president, and Merrick Garland was in town. He did not speak at the actual event, but he came. He was at Tabernacle Baptist. And we had the Department of Education commissioner, big crowds, Terry Sewell.
Yeah, she was here Saturday.
Yep, here's Terry Sewell. And Terry is running again in her seat, but she gave a really passionate speech about Selma. She thanked the federal efforts to help Selma rebuild, which was really exciting because we got 100% reimbursement for the pickup from FEMA. And we've done a lot of thank yous to them for helping us in our rebuilding efforts. This is Terry speaking. We can listen for a little bit.
One judicial appointment or one presidential term. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime or many lifetimes, and each of us in every generation must do our part. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do our part. I proudly...
A lot of what she talked about was about voting rights, which, of course, the Bridge Crossing Jubilee is a celebration, commemoration of Bloody Sunday, which was not a pleasant day in the end because the protesters in 1965, were beaten at the bottom of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And also it took several tries, several days of trying to get to accomplish that march. But it led to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And so Selma, that has made us a real a go-to spot for what you need to do to accomplish those goals when you want them.
Center of the civil rights movement.
And absolutely, which the whole week, see, she got really into it. Let's listen again.
When we vote, we all win. Uplifting underserved communities and Black communities is uplifting all of America. So we can make a difference, but we must act. There's no better way to honor the legacy of those whose shoulders we stand on than to exercise the right that they sought for us to secure. In the words of John Lewis, the vote is the most sacred, nonviolent tool in our democracy, and we must use it.
Right. So I got this video in the press corps for Vice President Kamala Harris. And so, voting rights, big part of
that was the theme this year was to protect the right to vote, get out and vote, and not just register, but actually exercise your right to vote. Hank Sanders mentioned that in the press conference we had before. Dr. Hubert over in Lowndes County even spoke of that as well. So getting out to vote. It's not enough to just register, but you actually have to get out and exercise that privilege.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There's us.
Yeah, I'm trying to get our video to work. So, we had thousands and thousands of people were there. And it was really exciting to see everyone come across the bridge because they it was a lovely day. It actually rained and misted first thing in the morning. And I was kind of concerned about the weather.
It turned out to be a beautiful day Saturday and Sunday. It turned out to be nice as well, even though we did have a little gloominess at the beginning.
Yep. Hopefully this video will work for us.
Yeah, well, you get it.
So tell
This
us
is a little bit of-
about Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Saturday. I was actually a part of the Lowndes County celebration. And originally, the idea was to meet in Marion because, as most people know, the spark that lit the civil rights movement was the murder of Jimmy Lee Jackson in Marion in February of 1965. And they actually decided to move the march or start the march in Selma to chop off 30 miles and make it a little easier for people to actually do the march. But they start the motorcade in Marion. Normally there's a whole line of Corvettes. Unfortunately, because of the weather, that group did not show up. So it was Burgess Banding with his RV. On his RV is all the names of the foot soldiers that he's collected. Then Dr. Ozell Hubert with his Corvette, and me with my Volkswagen bus all went from Marion to Selma. Burgess was adamant about letting those foot soldiers cross the bridge again, this time in spirit on the side of his motorhome. And then we went to the Interpretive Center in Lowndes County and had a program there with the folks in Lowndes County.
That it is black voters and
really
student voters who
Now
are
we've
most
got the
targeted by
video working
There we go.
for Kamala Harris. Let's take a listen.
A lived experience that during the height of their reproductive years, the highest court in our land, the court of Thurgood, an RBG, took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, from the women of America.
So this is video
So that
that I
now
got
this
in
generation
the press
has fewer
corps.
rights than their mothers and grandmothers.
She actually spent the first 5 minutes
Their lived
talking about
experience.
Israel and Gaza,
That from kindergarten to 12th
saying that
grade,
we
they
need a
have
ceasefire for
consistently had
at least
to endure
6
active
weeks,
shooter drills.
so that they
While
can
extremists
get
refuse
aid
to pass
to those
universal
in Gaza.
background
It was
checks,
actually a
red flag laws,
surprise
and an assault
that
weapons
she
ban.
spoke, well, first of all, at this event about
Our young leaders,
Israel and Gaza, but
they
also
are
for
clear-eyed
5 full
about
minutes.
what's
Right.
been said.
And I know it's 5 because I
And in
videoed
the spirit
that,
of a
and it was
young
5
John
full
Lewis,
minutes.
I know
And it was
they
the very
too
first thing she
will not
said.
be deterred. They will
right.
not
So
be defeated.
Then
and
she
they will
spoke about,
not
obviously,
be
about
denied.
voting rights and
So
the
Selma,
voice of
the challenges we
minorities and
currently
the
face
importance of
are not unlike
equal
the
voting
challenges
rights.
faced by those 600 brave souls 59 years ago. And in this moment, we too then are confronted with a fundamental question. What kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of freedom, liberty, and justice? Or a country of injustice, hate, and fear? We each have the power to answer that question with our voice, with our feet, and with our vote. I'll close by sharing with you in my West Wing office in the White House.
Yep, this is an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's where I work. I hung a piece of this artwork that is the first thing I see when I walk into my office in the morning. It's a large framed photograph taken on Bloody Sunday depicting an injured Amelia Boynton receiving care at the foot of this very bridge. And for me, it is a daily reminder of the struggle, of the sacrifice, and of how much we owe to those who gave so much before us. History is a relay race.
Right. So she actually says she's got a picture from the bridge cross, the Bloody Sunday, which is 59 years ago.
Yeah.
That's in her office in the West Wing. Now, I do want to add that this was the 59th. The 60th is next year, and there have already been some discussions about how big next year is going to be.
Well, you know, we talked to the folks at Brown Chapel, and their plan is to have it ready to be in the sanctuary.
Right. So you guys
for
know
60th.
Brown Chapel was the start of.
That's where they gathered.
Yep, start of the
That's where
gathering for
soldiers
Bloody
gathered.
Sunday that day. And it is a beautiful church. It's been
It
renovated.
really
Lots of
is.
money coming in to help renovate Brown Chapel, and they are hoping to be reopened by the 60th. And
Right.
also Selma Interpretive Center closed in just November, December
Right.
for their 1.5 year construction of expansion project.
Yeah.
So it was not open for this weekend, but they hope to open in time for the 60th as well, 2025, the next year. So yeah, I'm trying to share. Let me see if this one will come through. I'm just loving this video of folks that came from all over.
While you're getting that, can I surprise you
Yeah.
with something?
Yeah.
Do you remember the picture of Bloody Sunday with Amelia going on laying on the ground and that
she's
young man holding her? This was phone number right. His name is Joe Jones, the young man who's holding her. We're going to have an interview with him coming up real soon.
Oh, wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
he's still around, huh?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
How
Yeah.
amazing is that?
So we're going to have that interview on Black Belt News Network real soon. Matter of fact, I'm planning on calling him tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have that this week.
Yeah, I marched with folks, and this lady had a really great voice, and so I got her right at the. Let's listen.
Trusting in His holy word, 'cause the Lord has never failed. He's never failed me yet. And we're singing, can't turn around.
Okay, so something else that's really cool, and I'll have to gather this for the newscast. I will use some video from the MLK Unity Breakfast that was Sunday morning. They honor the Freedom Singers.
I was just going to mention
If you
that.
go
That's awesome.
to Black Belt News Network on our and Selma's son social media,
Mhm.
I posted a reel and on TikTok of them singing. And one of the what they said was that they were honored for the 60 years of providing, at least I call it the soundtrack
Right. Yeah.
for the civil rights movement, and their voices, and they're an integrated group. There's a old white man in there, and he talked about this at the event about how he's been singing with them, and it's one of the best parts of his life experience has been being a part of the Freedom Singers.
Yeah, I would love. I read the story, and I love where he's. I think it was Mr. Niblett.
Yes,
Said,
Chuck.
Chuck Niblett said that singing gave them the courage to do things.
That's right. And when you see protesters, even if it's for job equality or other things besides just voting rights, you hear singing.
Yeah.
And it's like a cadence. Even the army, military uses singing to
Exactly.
stay on beat and in
brings
step.
everybody together.
And it brings you together. And I love that. And that's a
great
story that I wrote yesterday.
Yeah.
That's at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
You were busy yesterday.
It was a busy weekend. That's why I have a slight cold. So, but if you go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, the featured item has at least 6 stories in there from the stories we've done over the weekend. There's a new photo gallery I put up this morning from a very talented photographer that came this weekend to help us out. And I got all kinds of photos from him that were amazing. So go to the websites, go to our social media. We will have more, but this is a little wrap up, sharing some of the video that we had.
And I'll have some of the video and some of the stuff from the Lowndes County, which is getting bigger and bigger. So
because the Black Belt is civil rights happen throughout the Black Belt.
And like the folks over there say, it's Selma to Montgomery through Lowndes County.
And Marion and Perry County have
Marion,
a lot of history too.
So that's where it started.
Stay tuned, Black Belt News Network.
Thank you for joining us.
And we will see you guys on Friday for our newscast. We'll have some more there.
See ya.
Check us out then.